Curious Creature here, and I'm going to be doing my next installment today of how to build a great eyeshadow collection and find the great quality products and not have to spend a lot of money to do it. So if you're interested in doing that, keep watching. The first thing to know is that there are cosmetic companies that you can purchase products from that are actually wholesale companies, where a lot of cosmetic companies actually purchase their products from before they become finished products that they sell to you over the counter. And so one of the ones that you can purchase this from is called TKB Trading. And you can actually buy some finished products from them. They come in these bag forms. And so the thing that just amazed me about TKB Trading is that it's very, very simple to create your own eyeshadows from these. Lots of times you can use them just kind of straight out of the bag. Sometimes you have to mix them with something, but they're extremely inexpensive. What you see in front of you cost $1.50 for a tablespoon of product. Sometimes for the more expensive pigments or micas, you get a teaspoonful, but that's a teaspoonful even will fill one of those containers that you see in front of you to the top. If it's a tablespoonful, it should easily fill 2 or 3 of those at a time. So that's a great value. Now, just to demonstrate just how much product you get in some of these tablespoon sizes, what you see here is actually the storage that I use after I've already filled a vial. I typically put everything in these vials. I also list on top of them what the product is. In that case, it's called Forged Gold. And whatever remainder I don't use goes into my storage area, which is basically just a Sterilite container, sits under my bathroom sink. But there's so much product that you use, even in a tablespoon size, that you will need to find some way of storing whatever it is that you don't use and is readily available. The other thing that you're going to want to consider too as you're working with your micas and pigments is, does the base mica or pigment require some additional product to make it more usable as an eyeshadow? Lots of the matte pigments or micas that you use from TKB Trading are so strong that the color payoff is great, but you may want to consider adding the matte texture base to give your eyeshadow some more slip and adhesion. And so I would strongly suggest that you pick up a small sample of the TKB matte texture base. The rule of thumb is to use 1 part TKB matte texture base to 2 parts of the mica pigment, and so that just helps that product adhere to your eye better. So one of the things that I do is I actually keep it in this small container, and then I just mix my eyeshadow on the fly. It's not very hard. You could pick up some of these scoops from TKB Trading, and then I use the paint thing here to the right to mix my eyeshadows in the morning. It's not very hard, and it's kind of fun, and it doesn't take very long. And so that's kind of how I mix up my whatever I'm going to use for the day. The other thing you may want to consider too is just getting some basic eye drops. Doesn't have to be a brand name at all, and that helps the product also adhere to the eye. The other thing that you can also get is the wet liner product, and this basically allows you to create any kind of eyeliner from your pigment or mica, so it just creates many uses out of it. So I would really recommend that as you're working with your micas and pigments that you think about kind of how you're going to create better adhesion. Now what you're seeing here are 3 different kinds of ways that you can purchase your pigments or micas from TKB Trading. This is the smallest, the sample size. To the left you see something that's called a My Mix. The My Mix is actually something that's already mixed and would be considered finished makeup, and in this case it's called Champagne. The one in the middle is Murasaki Violet. How gorgeous is that? That's one of the more the matte finishes, and so that would be one that I would want to mix with the TKB matte texture base because it is so strong. The color payoff is great, but you might want just a little bit more help in the adhesion and the slip of that product. And so again, it would be like a 1-to-1. Get 1 scoop of this, 1 scoop of your TKB matte texture base, and you're off and running, and you have a finished eyeshadow to put on your eye. And then to the right, how gorgeous is that? That's Indian Blue, very well-known pigment. And then you can even lighten that up a little bit with like a white color, or you can just use it as is. It's gorgeous. So I would really put that directly on my eye, maybe with a little bit of Visine, and it's absolutely stunning. Highly recommend Indian Blue. It's very well known on YouTube. The other thing to consider when you're ordering your micas and pigments is that some of these make outstanding highlight, and you can press these into the round tins, and they sell those at the TKB Trading website. But the one on the left is called Satin Orange Gold, which actually I used today. Quite beautiful. And so if you have a thirst, like I do, for great highlight, you'll love the TKB Trading choices. On the right, you'll see one called Starlight Gold, and what this does, you'll see a note that I've made on it. It actually helps to create a duochrome if you mix that in with other micas or pigments, and this makes a great additive to your lip glosses. And so that's another thing to consider, is that some of these, when used with other products, really create different wonderful finishes. And so it's a way to use your creativity in your makeup. Now, you already know that from my first video that I enjoy a lot of variety in my eyeshadow collection. And so the way that I've done that is through these little bead storage containers. This originates in a 30 count bead storage container, and you can get that at any kind of craft store. And what I've done is I basically put in my eyeshadows in that, and then marked with a permanent marker that's in silver permanent marker on top, what the eyeshadow is. So that just kind of helps me keep it organized, and as you can see, there's an awful lot of variety in just this one drawer. This comes from the Muji collection, and where these vials fit is in the 2-drawer large Muji drawer. One of the things that's also been useful for me to do is actually to create an inventory of the eyeshadows that I have. And the reason why I've gone to just such great lengths to do that is that if I'm actually shopping for a sale and I have maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of a MAC product that I'm looking to add to that I'm enjoying, then it helps me to just be able to look at this list easily and be able to order from that website, because oftentimes the Body Needs or Beauty Sampler have 35–40% off sales. And so if I really want a quick reference of the different colors that I have, I go to my inventory sheets, and there it can be found easily. Now, products I like best, unless it's very high quality, it does not make it into this collection. And so just so you know that whatever I put in here can also be discontinued if I want to take it out and add something else, but it's very important to me to have great quality in this lineup. And so the manufacturers that I use are TKB Trading, Firenze, MAC. I also have some of the Urban Decay pigments. When they came out, they were in these containers that made them really clumsy. And so I've depotted all of those into these containers, and they're gorgeous pigments. So if you can find some of those on eBay, get your hands on them, because they're quite stunning. So anyway, that's where the bulk of my collection comes from. And finally, in closing, thanks for watching this video. One thing I would really recommend for people too who are really wanting to build a collection and they have limited resources to do that, get a couple of your friends together, 2–3 friends, and order some of the tablespoon sizes from TKB Trading, because there will be enough for you to split between you, and that's a great way to combine your resources, have some fun. Each of you order different things, and then just have some fun with it, because you can create your own eyeshadow collections. I believe this because I've done it, and it can be just a source of great fun for you in the morning. Okay, thanks for watching.